Okay, time to get to work. While we will be spending the most of our time in Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code, I have created a couple of slides that will outline which tasks we need to perform. This will make it easier for you to follow the steps. Alright, we're going to create this application, you and me, together. We can do this. In the demo, we'll start from an empty, freshly downloaded application that will look exactly the same as we've already explored in the previous module. In that application, in the first part of this demo, we are going to be adding a new menu item containing a label and an icon. And when clicking on that menu item, the page on the right will be showing. So what are the things we need to do for this to work? So first, we are going to create a menu item in the Angular application. You'll see that it already contains menu items as part of the navigation service, and so we'll need to bring in a new one. Now everything in ASP.NET 0 can be localized, and so that includes this menu item as well. To bring in a translated value for this label, we're going to have to translate the value on the server side. Next, we will be leveraging the routing system of Angular, so that we will be able to click on the newly created menu item. And when the item is clicked, well, then we'll want to load a page, or should I say view, which will be backed by an Angular component. So as mentioned, the ASP.NET 0 framework relies on the infrastructure of the underlying frameworks, and that's no different here for the routing part. Angular has this thing called a router. The Angular router allows navigating from one view to the next. Typically, this will happen based on the URL, which is based on the router to know where it needs to navigate to next. Typically, it will be triggered from links on the page, just as we have here in our application. Extra data, so parameters, can be passed along. In the application, we will be adding a route that will indicate which component needs to be loaded. Take a look at the link at the bottom here, if the concept of routing in Angular is still a bit unclear for you. Now, next we will be creating our first Angular component. The concept of a component is probably the most important thing to understand. A component contains logic that will control a screen or a part thereof. So we can have a component that controls the menu of the screen, another component can control the logic for our phone book, and so on. Angular components will be wrapped inside a class. And on this class, we will define properties and methods that can be used by the view to interact with it.